Now, I was kind of dumb because like I didn't set up my computer, so I need to do that. You can just chill there for 5 seconds so I can be able to see what you write without having to turn my head. Pretty weird and funky, you know? So, let me see if it wants to exist this time. And it is working it, and it's perfect. Great. Now, I bought stuff at the store, and then, I was going to buy paint, but then I found these essentially, but I got sad because these in blue were like a whole bunch, so I bought them both, which was necessary, I promise. And then I bought this gold paint, which is also necessary because I want it to be like gold things in the painting. And then I bought a whole bunch of more white. But I don't know if it is the same. I mean, it's a new label, but I don't know what this word means. And I hope this that I bought is also matted like this, because I want a glossy black and a matte white, because it creates really nice differences. If I'm a fuck. Shit, I have too much stuff. Now, for an example, this painting is very dark, so it's like very shiny and such, but on the white parts it's a bit less shine, so like the clouds isn't completely shiny, it's a bit more matted because there's a bit more white in it, and it's a bad example, but that's the effect, I'm confused, okay, because that was the opposite of what I was trying to say. But anyway, this is very matted. This don't shine at all. Maybe, fuck. I don't know why it shines. Oh, I'm dumb. It's probably because of the blue, which is shiny. Maybe I didn't use that much black. Well, anyway, we're going to rip this piece. Fuck. I'm gonna give you a nicer angle, if I am capable. Fuck. I think I went on to do this a bit faster than what I should have. But we need to take this off, if possible, please. I don't know how to not rip and like destroy the whole piece. And then it has glue edges, which we don't like because we don't we don't want that. So because I said yesterday that I would practice smaller things that would go on to this piece, and it's a bit crooked, and I don't like that. But we need to we need to practice water. That's essentially, that's the main part of what is necessary to do right away. But I need some energy because, you know, sleep is for pussies. And then we need something to keep us drowsy. You know, that is also highly necessary. Oops. Now, unboxing, you know. Now, personally, I don't used to like these plastic things on the pencils, which you probably should do. So I'm gonna keep them and then find them later and like, okay, that's trash. Let me throw that away at a different point in time. Now, this was a bad buy. This pencil. Can you see that? This isn't it. You know. But anyway, other than that, pretty nice. Now, the thing I was going to do, you know? Fuck. I need to find blues. I need some blues. Because water, that's blue. Unfortunately. Now, I think we should have some mossy things growing on the rocks, so I will have some blues. And I will have some greens. Just to, fuck. Where's that? There it is. So it, because like, things grow on rocks if it's like humid and like you know, possible. You know, so it happens. So I'm gonna have some brown, because like mud that would probably get cogged up in there. I'm gonna have some red because it's a nice color and it will like enrich it for some reason somehow. Now, I will have some darker blue and you know, I haven't really tried on different methods of painting before, other than a class assignment that said it was necessary to show how you went forward, and it's like you just clash things on the easel. There's no more. There shouldn't be more to it. Thank you. Now, since you saw me like not being prepared, I'ma have to go and change the water, and I have shit, and I have this. I am dumb. Fuck. I have this pretty pretty thing, and now I have a Smurf finger. So hold on for 5 seconds and I will change the water. I have ascended from the bathroom. I don't believe that was a lie. Okay, it looked smooth. I thought I looked stupid, but apparently I can't. Which is amazing. Now, I think I will have to take... Oops. I have this blue as well. This is primary blue. It's probably a good idea. That's not that much left. Now, let's... You know, water, right? It's kind of blue. So what if we have some blue in this corner? Yeah, you can see that. So that means I'm doing fantastic. So I think perhaps what if I try to have different baselines for the blue, and then we'll see which one of them turns out to be the better choice for when painting for doing like the layering, you know. So right at the start, the primary blue is very much more blue. You know, I try to sound smart, but it's not going very, very well. And by the palette, these looks kind of the same. Now, if you have like a bad stack of paper, like this preferably this would be like glued down here, and it would also be glued here, and have the smaller side be able to like tear the painting off, because now it's very wobbly, and I don't think that's preferable. Now, by the looks of it, this blue here looks more like the sky, in all honesty. Now, so we will have to have a smaller pencil. Which one of these? They look the same. Now one's more chunkier than the other, but it's pink and I love it. It looks yellow on stream, but my bedroom walls are actually in fact pink, so you know, it's fantastic. Now, rocks. I need some black. To make like a rich gray color. I don't get TikTok and like art academia apparently for saying like, nah, don't use black. I personally, I think it's dumb and weird. Now, we're gonna have some brown in the black, which perhaps was a bit much, so I'm gonna take some more black, and then I'm gonna take some white. Look at that nice gray color, you know. And I don't know how dark rocks are. But it's a nice color, honestly. So let me just shape it a bit at the top so it looks, you know, like a rock. Perhaps I should use like images and such, but I think it would be more fun if I managed to complete this just totally without having any clue of what I am actually doing. Now, the sun is behind her, so meaning the water should technically be a bit dark and shadowy. So maybe this perhaps is a bit light. Or maybe I can shape the rock to my preference, because making things look three-dimensional, I don't know about you, but it's hard. So you can't necessarily see this, but so I painted just tiny bit darker just around here, like a hoof, a horse's foot. So a bit brighter just down the middle and down the line. And I'm continue to do that a bit gradually, so it has some like texture. So it has like a bit you know, shadows. So the water, okay, it has like come on the side a lot, but it's struggling at the top because it's like the high point. The water, it goes the fastest way. So if it's a huge rock, right, it will tear down the sides and then work its way where it is like possible and such. And I have shit in my drink, meaning I can't drink that because I weren't able to poke it out. Anyway, but that makes sense, you know? And so I think perhaps the moss and such growing from the rocks should potentially emerge from the back of it. So if there's a rock, we see a rock like here, potentially ish. What if the things growing out is, because it needs like water, but don't need to be like pushed against the water. So logically, in my mind, it's preferable, more likely that the things that grow out of it comes like creeping like on the back, sort of, and then potentially a bit more on top instead of on the sides, because it would be water, you know? It wouldn't make that much sense to have it there, you know? So I'm gonna have some brown into the green. Not that you saw it, but, and I'm gonna poke it like just down at the bottom of it. I think that would be a great thing to have. It needs to be mud for things to grow, and it's not necessary to have a lot, but just some of it. Now, okay, Oops. So, how do we make everything else here make sense? I'm gonna start drawing a rock here, and we going to forget about the like start of it. So we gonna have like some pointy-ish rocks, but I think they need to be a bit smooth. And then we can like have the plants do all the texturing, you know? So we have a lot of things we can try to have as points of referencing when we are doing that. And we'll also know ish what colors works the best, you know? And now it's a bit dark. So yeah, anyway, what if I have this as well? A bit lighter, you know? I should have started at a better point in the on the thingy. If only I had thought 5 seconds ahead. Now, anyway, I think that it would work. Anyway, now we have some lights and some darker, and we'll see which one of them would work best. And then we also need to make water make sense. So we'll have these to try and figure out how to make rocks make sense. And those two water, I think I should make some more rocks. Just in case, you know. Some brownish rocks. We'll have this one right here. That's a nice one. I don't know. Yeah, I think the T pose would make more sense if she's like been standing there for a while. I forgot to have music. And I have Lo-Fi Chill Beats 12-hour copyright-free music. Because I download. Yeah, I upload. Oops. Sorry. Right. Oops. Now it doesn't wanna. And I think it's a bit too, like. Oops. Technical difficulties. Is this perfect? Yeah, it is. I just anyway, for if she's been standing there for a while, you know, it would most likely be, and like if things have grown there, you know, I think the the red rocks is kind of nice, actually. Because she's been chilling there for a while, right? So most likely the things that are grown there and such, nature has had their way with it, you know. Take that however you would like. But yeah, it would make more sense that it's like shapen a bit down, you know? Because that makes sense. Yeah, and I also looked at this, and then I were a completely different place, and then I thought, yeah, the person is not pale enough. I think there's way too much red and way too much blue in there, and not enough my skin color, because I'm using myself as a reference as well, because it's easier and such so I don't have to search up images online. So yeah, what if the the water, what if I have a bit darker color of water than what is on the baseline, and then I make water flow from here, and have the water kind of flow in a T shape or a V. So, and then it would kind of bulge a bit, I would assume. I don't know that much water physics. Perhaps I should. I refuse to search up images online, but this kind of makes sense actually for this particular rock. Because water will always flow to the smallest, the shortest, to the shortest, the shortest way, right? So that would make sense. And if there is no point for the water, if it's here and there's no way for it to really go down, it will be slow, and it will continue slowly downwards. It is. I've seen nature. I've been in nature. And I've seen these pools of water just crumbling, just chilling there, honestly. So yeah, I think this is possible, even though it is seemingly it is a lot of water. But maybe, perhaps, what if I make the ground of the water, I make some of this, and that is the end of it, so it's not that much water, it's more calm, potentially, maybe a bit grayish. Oh, I don't regrets. Fuck. But anyway, we have some darks and some brights for reference. Of course, this was intentional. Now, and then have small rocks in here, just maybe a small bunch of them. It looks like weird birds. Maybe just cleverly placed rocks, perhaps, and some different colors of different shades of rocks, maybe some red in it, maybe some different types, or maybe just a bunch of flat rocks, perhaps as well. and we'll see how that goes as well. Yeah, so as I said, I had the only time I have done like this and tried out different stuff is for a school assignment. And I've never, ever been a fan of it. I thought, like, the fuck would you do that for? You know how to art, you know? And therefore, although I've been stuck on paintings, I have never thought that I would have to do this ever again. So yeah, come join me as I revel in new painting skills and practice, because everybody needs practice. Am I right? And I personally, I think the slow falling water would be like calmer. It would be like, it wouldn't be so loud and obnoxious. It would be calming, because I want her to look calm. So maybe also just like calm the hair, making it like look wet. Fuck, that's something we also need to try on, but let's have the foreground as a starter point and do that first, and then we'll go backwards. So after this, we'll do the lady. I mean, find colors that would match her thingy. Find how hair should look. Maybe try on some eye color. Try to make eyes. Try to make mouth. And I also realized, if I haven't painted faces, I mean, fuck. Hold on. I have painted one face, and this is it. And personally, you can't see it very. Okay, so the shit. It is relatively okay. I feel like the nose here, it's not like a round tip and then it dips down and then goes up to like the bony parts of the nose, you know? And I feel like these are a bit too prevalent and these are a bit too small for like size comparison, and I gave up on the mouth, honestly. And there's no shadow shit. There's no jawline midpoint. I don't know the word for it. And there's no like it's an attempt. So yeah, we need to do that as well. Yeah, which will be fun, at least when we are able to like do it properly. Now, I like the thought of it being a bit more calm, but we need some like white like foam type of things. I would assume, I would believe. Yeah, perhaps. It would potentially be the right choice. Yeah. Nice. let's let's have a smaller brush and let's do some mossy things as well, because that's necessary. These are dry, so let's put these pink ones and move some things and have it here, because it's like an odd on the smaller pink brush, and like the hairs are misshapen. That kind of makes me sad, and it is infuriating at all points, and I don't know how to fix it completely. But what if I make it wet and try to reshape it? It kind of works, but I think it will have to like just stay like it for a while, and like all the hair won't necessarily follow through. So I'm gonna place it there, so perhaps I can not lose the brush I just bought. But anyway, we have this brush, which also works. Now, we need like brown stuff first. Maybe a bit green. Now, maybe, perhaps it should be like also in the water. So the water is blue, and then we show, since it's more up to the surface, is my reasoning, we will see more of the rocks, or like it will be clearer, you know, the water will shine through. Let me have a bit lighter brown. That just came out a bit gray. I'm confused, but I'm gonna put some, that's the same brown color. Wow, I am professional. That was kind of a bummer, but if I put this yellow orchid thingy in it, because it's kind of brown, perhaps it will be like a nicer brown color. It's the yellow that looks like mustard, in case you were wondering. But yeah, it's kind of nicer. So since it's a bit more experimental, we can put it on the red one, on the red grayish, which I have actually grown a bit fond of, because it looks really nice. And let me have one that is mainly green on this darker one. And the challenge when this is all, like the tests are all done, is using them and figuring what the fuck I did, and then paint it here. That'll be fun, honestly. Now, what if I have a swatch of this, only in a lighter blue, and I don't have more spaces? So let's use that one and make a lighter blue, and then put some water in it, so it's not a like prevalent layer of paint, so it's a bit more see-through. or like more shining through it, you know. It's not as loud and obnoxious. And we have a stick of that now. And then we have to redo that shit. Only in a different way, I would suppose. Yeah. So what if it has a bit like brown parts for like texture, and then we have some more black for the like, I don't know, shadow. And we also put in some green, perhaps, or some light rocks, potentially. So I think to make it just look messy and like you can't really tell what it is supposed to be, would be the best way to go forward. Because yeah, maybe it is the patience that is speaking, but I want to try to have some reddish rocks inside the water, because I think it will look nice and aesthetic, and it would kind of be a bit different, and it has like a bit warmer tone to it. So, and then we need some black, although it's not black, it's like, I don't want to clean the pencil. It's tiring. It's too much. I can't handle it. And then maybe if we have some green, some lighter green in between these things, so it's like moss and algae, you know, making themselves making themselves at home, potentially. Yeah, that's also kind of nice, I think. Bit brighter green would be matching a bit more the tone of the red rocks that I just made. That's kind of nice. Yeah, and I want to do the like actual like more prevalent slides of rocks as well. So we have like these slides, you know. And I don't know, a bit bigger, smaller, or perhaps it should be the other way around, but that's a bit too much to think of now. Potentially, perhaps some green, and essentially doing what we are trying out here, just inside the water, you know? Shit. So a bit darker with underneath the rocks and a bit on the side. Because it's like it's in the water. It's okay. And over here. And I should have made some bright rocks to like compensate or something. But I'm gonna have some brighter green to like pretend. And then we need some brown and some reddish, because I feel like it's a nice muddy color. So we'll just fill this in between here. It's not professionally colored in because I can't be bothered. Now we'll have some actual brown in between here. Yeah. Perfect. Now. Fuck. It's a lot of things that I need to do on all of them, and I feel like sorry, going all over them and like doing smaller things to like each one add its own paste works better. Now these rocks, you know, and I need some more rocks actually to like have the moss that's behind it, you know. Maybe some flowers are growing up on them. So I will make a gray up here because my palette is kind of full. Hey, it's been drinking more than me, you know. Now let me have maybe a bluish rock. Maybe that'll be something. Yeah, that's a nice color. I like it. Actually, a lot. Fuck. Now, I have these weird rocks. And now I can... Hey, it's the good advice. Who's the good advice? I am a bit confused. I don't know if I'm the good advice or what I just said was good advice. That went over your head. Yes. It didn't even register and had some sort of connection, you know. Yes. But I am practicing the rocks, so I have like a different types of like swatches, you know, to trying to figure out the like best way to approach the rocks in the ocean. And then I have this here to like have the water within the rocks all the way, and then to think of the where it's not like prevalent rocks to see what type of, if it matters to have like slower water or like very loud and noisy ones, like a lot of water and then potentially less water and a bit more calming. I left it as a remark yesterday based on your name. Guess that's hilarious. I guess that hilarious moment of comedy gold is already long forgotten. but it wasn't the first thing I would have thought of. But personally, I think I have like good advice. I think I everything I do is somehow a good advice. But that one completely went over my head, and I am sorry for my lack of brain cells today. I went shopping, you see, so all the things to think of and to think about it's kind of gone, because I bought pink brushes, only 4 of them, because it was only 4 in the package, but it's like goat hair, and since there were so small amount of pink brushes, I also bought a bunch of blue ones, and I feel aesthetically it's really fucking cute. Now I need to remember what I was trying to do, because I was actually doing these and having some sort of moss on the rocks on the downside, and then I will have like greenery on top and such to potentially, I don't know, have a tree growing out of it. If it's calm water, that would be potentially a good idea. And I'ma have some bit more green onto this one, and potentially have the green come up just where the water is, having the moss where it's not as much water, but it's like a lot water, that makes sense. Because logic. Your laugh is amazing. Yesterday I thought it was a trick of my mind, but I can hear it is is indeed you. Well, thank you. It's kind of funny. I laugh breathing in instead of breathing out, and I have been bullied by it like a lot. But I don't know who said it, but some person, a genius, said if people hear your laugh and like laugh at you, they're like bullies and they're not good people. And like if they like get effectuated and laugh with you because it's just a wonderful thing that doesn't occur that many times with other people, they're they're better people, essentially. So yeah, I love having a laugh. It makes me distinguish bad people from good people. You know, it's a magic trick called "Are you bullying me or are you nice?" Essentially. Now, I a thing with doing this as swatching and trying to figure out how the fuck to do there is it doesn't really matter what you do, because you can like take elements from each one, as long as they're like different in a way, it will work out. Now I feel like I have done the mossy thingy great-ish enough, so I feel like I'ma try to make the water brighter, as it is like crushing the rocks on like this side, and it's also essentially to like find the tones of colors that is suited best for the final input, like the final vibe of the painting. because that is important to figure out, so it has like a harmony together with it, because I want it to look kind of trippy. 2 questions: where you're not supposed to finish your hands, and how is it going with the sneefies? It's just a bit sniff, it's a bit goo in my nose, but my throat, perfect. Yes, I was not supposed to finish the hands because there's no way I can freehand this shit and make it look as good as I have intended to. So therefore, all these rocks here is what I'm trying to do correctly here, and then I need to like make another page of trying to make hands in the position that I want the hands to be, and the head in the position I want the head to be. And I found out it would be kind of weird that her hair isn't completely fucking soaking wet. I mean, she's essentially in a steam bath. So maybe I can also make some fog inside here. The hotness of the earth just pumps out for some reason. And I have also essentially came to the conclusion that her head shouldn't tilt that much up. It should be more of a like direct side view, and I wanted her eyes as well to like stare into your soul, making you uncomfortable, making it kind of unusual. 3rd question, and this is the most important: what are you drinking? Please describe the taste. It's pink energy drink. It has a flavor of passion fruit, orange, and guava. And with bull piss because it's energy drink. And I put alcohol in this one. But there's a thing that is floating around in it. It doesn't sound horrible. It's fantastic. Don't you know Red Bull has bull piss in it? But what I was trying to say was there's shit in it. I can't drink that. So I don't know how to fix that without having to like get up, which I am not that fond of like doing. I don't want to do that. That sounds horrible. I can't move. I mean, I moved to get the water because it had kind of a kinky start. I mean, unfinished preparational start, essentially. So I've already left to do something, so I can't like leave again to do something else, because that would not make sense. I started recording, or like I started going live before I had put on my computer to see the chat, because then I don't have to like do this all the time, because that's annoying. And I hadn't put on music until a bit late within it, so a bit unprofessional start, that is. Now, perhaps I am considering looking up water with rocks as a reference image, but I am a bit hesitant because this middle one looks kind of good, so perhaps I can complete it, because it's kind of cute. I mean, this one, we're going to, who's going to paint this one, but yeah, I like this tone of the water. I feel like this essentially is nighttime, and this water is too dark, contrasting the rock, you know? And this isn't like this bright blue, you know? It doesn't really match up with the darkness of the rest of the thing. So unless I do like very much like grading and such. Real talk though, I am disturbing you with my funny but also somewhat silly questions. No, you're not. I feel like the more you ask silly but funny but relevant but interesting questions, the more content I have, because my brain don't wanna make its thoughts come out properly, if that makes sense. So don't stop believing, and ask all the questions you would like to get answered. I feel like that is important now. Maybe, perhaps, if I have the water be a bit brighter and such, like as flowing, you know, making like a introduction, you know, so we can see where it kind of flows and where it kind of stops, you know. That would be something. So I should have painted more downwards, and I should have spaced them out properly. Any thoughts on that? I saw quite a bit of Bob Ross videos once at Twitch Marathon, and he would paint the water reflections and water streamlines using a flat brush. That's something, actually. I need to have a flat brush. So I will jerk this pencil dry. Sorry. And I will have this flat brush here. And yeah, I think having a bit bright and then have a bit darker tone and perhaps a bit lighter tone in this sort of way, using like both the sides of the brush, so I can like do this, I can like do this, and it's like different thingies. Yeah, I like that. Making like having different shades of the colors and dragging them out, that would make sense. I will have to do that first, or the bottom first. I need to see how the ground reacts to getting color over it. can you search for fan brush? Because I don't think we're talking about the same. Oh yeah. Okay. I have one of those. But it's really like sharp and pastry. So you mean like doing this and like, or like having the, if it goes from there, it like goes in like so and like follows the stream? Or do you mean like tapping it? But I'm gonna see how the ground reacts to having water over it. Fuck. I would have to make the the color over it kind of invincible. But that looks like a ground of water. Actually, I am kind of proud of that. Now, let's see how the others will react. I'ma have a lot of water, so it's not very defiant, but I won't have a lot of water on my brush, if that makes sense. So, what about this one? Yeah. That could work. And then shading the water, having higher points and like lighter and darker points. Oh, I mean like this. Yeah, that's possible. Let me have one that is darker, so I I have something to compare the light to. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and I think that would work fantastic. And I need to see how the green reacts to blue paint over it. That's also kind of essential. But you wrote something. I think the last thing you showed, like tapping and making highlights in certain points and not all the way around. Yeah, you are the artist. Have you never watched Bob Ross? I have watched Bob Ross. I haven't watched him religiously though. Like, I've seen the funny clips of him like smacking the brush and such, because that's fantastic. I mean, you can't not have seen that. But yeah, I think I should have green under. I think the best way to go forth is one of these for like everything that's between, and then the prevalent rocks more on this side perhaps, like they're pushed, like they've been carved out from the water falling down. Yeah, beating the devil out of it. It's it's amazing. Personally, I would love to have the devils inside my brushes. Maybe artistically it would be better art. But I don't beat the devil out of it. I gently brush it so I don't harm the hairs of it, which makes sense if you have dry and like the name of it is like splitted ends. That's it. And so I'm I they're bad quality. I need to be careful so I don't ruin them. And now, these rocks. I mean, these rocks. I need to have some shading on the rocks. Actually, so I'm gonna just shade this one into like a T-pose, because that would make sense. And I will have it just a tiny bit darker, please. Having it in the creases of it, following it just a bit throughout there, and then have it lighter, please. And then have the lighter parts go on top here, and then have some real like bright parts, perhaps. And a prevalent brighter spot on the top of it, perhaps. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Now, I don't think I can do rocks any different than that. Can I dig a bit into your into what you mentioned with your brain and words? If it's not a sensitive topic, you know, the first stream I had, I painted this, just so you know, and I talked, and I said to the people talking to me in chat that they are my therapist and I am their therapist, so anything is possible in that sense as well. I like to talk more about anything between heaven and earth, just in a casual way, because it goes for more fun topics and such. If you wanna if you wanna try figure out what's wrong with me, go ahead. Because I think my therapist is struggling as well. So yeah. But if you're gonna do that, I will kind of have to do this as well. Because words, it gets easier with things in it, you know? I'm not going to pretend to be your therapist, just wanted to hear what you meant. Okay, I don't know what I meant. You know, most the things I think about, I think I can explain it, is how I think is in pictures, and I don't think it would be easier to say it in Norwegian. I would, like, I see it in pictures, so like describing the pictures is kind of hard. And like I have like these funny scenarios in my head, so most likely my brain is just set on these scenarios and like how things happen in like these picture Hollywood movie studios kind of way, and to like explain things when everything comes in a short film, you know, it's not that easy to translate, if you know what I mean. Now, I need to have some lighter spots here. That would be nice. And then perhaps some brown just in between, just like a little. That'd be fun. Now the darker green and the well, I guess I above averagely articulated, so probably I cannot relate, but it is interesting. Thank you. But if I get a specific question to something I have thought so much about, and like I have thought specifically of the way to say it, like I've been rehearsing as if as if I were an actor, you know, then to get like the specifically rehearsed thing across, you know, I were interviewed for a paper, so the interviewer sent the like first thingy and like, is this good, and then to then correct those things and make it better and make it like more something I would say, was really easy. When I can see the words, it works like really well. But other than that, it's kind of a hit or miss. You know that meme? I just thought of the meme. But when I see the words that I am writing and exclamating, I can be really good. So I think it's just a visual thing, actually. And yeah. Now I need I wanna shade the red rock because it has a nice tone to it. Honestly, the rocks looks like small volcanoes, especially the one I have shaded, completely done with. So show me how that works. Can you explain? I can. So, right. I can use it as an example, the interviewer thing, because it's the best example I can come up with. So he was asking me like, how do you like your work? What kind of position are you in? You know, some basic stuff, and then he asked me the article were about work immigrants in Norway. So he asked me about my thoughts on that, and I said I don't really care as long as they like their job, they work as hard as they can, they get the right amounts of pay, and they are able to do what they want to do. And the interviewer, personally, I don't think he liked that answer. So when I get like the reference and what he wanted to write in the article on my mail, that wasn't actually in it. And I I told him, yeah, I like working like restoration and such. I've been working on like where the national traitor of Norway lived, because it is like that old, so it's like antiquarisk. It's supposed to be maintained in a certain way, and I told him that I had worked on the Norwegian castle, and I met the crown prince, which was kind of fun. So he wanted to like write 2 paragraphs of that, and I felt that would be like very dumb to like have a story about work immigrants and me just bragging about being on the castle. So I concised the whole thing to be very direct and simple, and it felt to not make myself brag, you know. I think I can find it if you're interested, and then I can read while translating. Although directly, it's something I managed to do, which is kind of fun. I like it, honestly. It's a bragging factor. My ego is kind of high, but in a work sense, I don't feel like I am in the position to brag, because I'm not like the best, you know. You can always be better than an intern. So if it's not too fast, I don't need a translator. Shit, you can understand Norwegian? Shit. Cause that's cool. Now, fuck. Okay. Yeah, he also wanted to call me kärringa emot strömmen, the bitch against the stream, and I said, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, you can't hide your secrets from me. Yeah, he said, okay, på Sørenga i Oslo møter vi 2 som forsøker å være kjerringa imot strømmen av arbeidsinnvandrere. Aurora er en av dem. Hun søker seg til en bransje i en by hvor de fleste malere er menn som ikke prater norsk. Also, and then an answer to a question. Jeg vil bli maler fordi jeg vet at jeg vil ha en fast og god jobb resten av livet. Hun har vært igjennom 2 år på bygg og anlegg videregående og er nå lærling hos malermester Buer. Jeg liker også det teoretiske med skriving og maling, men det kan jeg ha som en hobby, tenkte jeg. Hun fikk seg en royal start. Jeg var i tvil om hvilken praktisk retning jeg skulle ta, men da de som solgte inn at vi skulle begynne på overflateteknikk, sa at det kunne gjøre at jeg kunne komme inn på slottet, måtte jeg slå til, sier hun og ler. Og det ble en virkelighet. Buer fikk en jobb der å male vinduskarmer, og jeg fikk hilst på kronprinsen. So, hello. Is that French? It's not French. I am explaining to Huddle Puddle 3 my inability to express words unless I can see it. So, essentially, the interviewer or very angling it that there's no people who I can't like work with people that doesn't speak Norwegian. It's possible to speak English with people, although I get really confused. But anyway, he called me a bitch. So I said that I wanted a constant and physical demanding work that would be necessary and is needing, instead of just a good work for the rest of my life. And I wrote also a correction that I like artistry painting. So painter, like a work profession, is a realistic choice, and all like passionate art I could do is like something I can do on my free time, which is what I am doing, you know. And then I fixed the sentence with the castle, and it's like they sold me in with working with restoration, making it specific, and mentioning that painters do that as well. And I, in a later occasion, got the chance to work on the castle, which was amazing because I met the crown prince of Norway. And it's like, just a thought, don't call me bitch though. I understood 80% of that. Fantastic. But like, he didn't care that I didn't really actually care about work immigrants, because as a apprentice, like, we're going through all the different things that you need to do within the field of expertise, you know. We need to like have some sort of experience with everything, so because we need to learn everything, so then when we graduate, essentially, it's easier. We can be picky of what kinds of work that is able to be done. I just bought a new gaming chair. I mean, cool. I wish I had a better chair because I can't sit comfortably in this one. I can if you had a other chair before that you that is like a good chair, I wouldn't I wouldn't mind if I like stole it, if if possible. Now, I am doing a lot of things. I am making swatches for this painting, but describe comfortably ding. I did not understand it's Among Us themed. Oh, that's kind of sus. I wouldn't want to have that. But that's cool. I mean, personally, I don't like objects and like physical things that are branded towards a certain thing, and like has an advertisement back deal, you know, because essentially you're advertising for Among Us every time you take a picture of it and such. But it's cool. It has a meeting button. The seat has a vent, and your life is so beautiful, just like you. Not. You're trying to say that I'm not beautiful, because I am. I feel personally attacked. I mean, that's kind of mean. But like, anyway, I got so much good responses when I showed off my article, and everyone was like, oh, that is really well put together, it's really well said. And I really enjoyed bragging about it because it was just positive and it was amazing. Did you join a stream just to be rude? Now that's something else. Yeah, I mean, it depends how, in what way people are like me. But I am not afraid to ban people. I need to know what was not, like your gaming chair that is capitalism, or like me, who are a human being that is wonderful in every single possible fucking way. Now, I am enjoying making small tiny volcanoes. Honestly, this is this is this is fun, because, like, in all honesty, rocks is just really small mountains. So it works perfectly. And I enjoy it. It's nice. Did you? Okay. I read that. Now, sorry. I need the black, and I need it to be a bit brighter, but then not really. Yeah, to have like a dark rock. Although I am pretty set on having light rocks. I think with the pastel-ish sky that I would like to have, it would be a better thing to have. You know, I don't remember if you have the same system as in Sweden with alcohol shops, but I am guessing it is hard to come by. Haha. Uh, Alcohol is not hard to buy. We can buy alcohol from 10 o'clock to 18:00, and we are alcoholics in just the same way as you are. And most days we don't have the weird holiday days that makes your monopoly just like fucking shut down. So we have very regularly alcohol available in Saturday as well, which is only slightly better than Sweden. Then yes, and I think the like you can buy alcohol when you're 18, and then when you are 20 you can buy alcohol that is over 22% or 22 and up, because if that is so, we have the same rules as well, which is fun. Now I need some green. I need some more green to like do this. Now, shit. I think that having like, if there were to be a plant within the rocks, I think it would have to be like small with just like petals, yeah. So I think the rocks has a really good sample, but I will try. I will, if it's like so, and then I have a bit darker blue, to like have some dots. Because personally that also looks very nice. But potentially I will have one of these just where the rock is, and then the rest could be somewhat among those lines, not among us. That's us. I mean, I'm not that kind of person. My family in Trondelaga area make their own alcohol, and it tastes as bad as you might think. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I would assume if it's like anything that's homebrewed that is not beer, but like vodka alcoholic, tastes disgusting. And when it comes up to like 90 and such, that was my dog being scared of my cat. Hi, Oscar. He doesn't want to show himself. He's kind of a pussy. Like, he's scared. Like, I can move my hand and he will like, what? What's happening, you know? But when it comes to that high percentage in alcohol, you wouldn't need that much to get drunk on. So like having mango juice or whatever would be like good enough. Dog cam, she's in the stairs, and the stairs is on that wall. So that would be kind of hard. If my cat decides to come into my room, I could hold him up and show him to you. But if he's not willing to, I won't force him, because you can't force animals. Now, I want to see if these pencils have flaws in them. Cat cam. If he wants to, like, nice. Nice, fantastic. I like it so far. Check. Don't keep all the animals to yourself. That is selfish and quite frankly unprofessional. I have shown my cat in a stream before. If you stalk your way to my Instagram, there should be animals there. Yeah. So if my cat decides on what he was terrifying my dog for, and what he was going to do, you can see him, but other than that, you'll have to stalk your way. Now, I think there's just glue on it that makes them weird, at least these one. So I'll have to deal with that another time, because I can't possibly be bothered to do such thing now. Luckily, the pencil that I would want to use is perfectly fine. So that is fantastic. Now, because I needed a quite smaller brush for, I don't have Instagram, but I am not a TikToker like your generation. Oscar, hvor er du? Okay, I think he wants to go out. But you don't have to have a Instagram if you're on your computer. You can go on Instagram and see it regardless. I need to. This is my cat. He's kind of terrified, but he's a cute boy. He's fantastic. Look at him. He's adorable. Now, I'm let him out. Now, you've seen my dog. No, I mean my cat. Fuck. Nice kitty. He's adorable. He's absolutely fantastic in every single possible way. Now, I had a bag that contained cheese balls, and I can't see it. Which kind of sucks, because now I really want cheese balls. I'ma just be sad. Can you sit still and not move a muscle for the next 10 minutes? I have to grab dinner. I will continue to move. I cannot sit still that long, unfortunately. But I will keep moving on. But I want cheese balls. And I can't remember what bag it was in either. This totally blows. Okay, that was the second but best outcome of that question anyway. I found it. It was right in eyesight all along. Now, I have balls. These are from Sweden, actually. Because they don't have them in Norway. Fantastic. But potentially I were going to have some white-ish highlights, maybe like really, really, really bright blue. To seal the deal with the water, because then I think, yeah, then I think I should, because you're not doing shit, because I need to continue onward and forward to like the fantastic great northern hemisphere. I mean, to like fuck, words. To the person, I mean, I need to just try to compensate for the person as well, and figure out how that is going to be. And then we will end the stream, because in like 2 potential hours my mom comes home, and I don't want to be doing this well when she comes in. So yeah, I personally think that I'm a genius, but I think the best way to go on about the water is to have this actually kind of rock, like sort of muddy ground, because then I can implement like one of these to the foreground and like closer to the rock, and then we have more solid color and solid water, and it's sort of just reflections and like light. So that would be amazing. And then we will most likely have this shade of water here, and not as dark, because then it needs to match, essentially. So we have this, and we can put it behind there. Now we need brown. We need to make hair make sense. Now personally, I have never made hair before now, so it will kind of be a bit weird, but like perhaps it will work out. Now I want a sort of reddish brown, so we will have 2 locks of hair, if you if that's the right word. And yeah, we need to be able to mix in a skin tone color, like a definite skin tone color that is highly necessary. Now this isn't cleaned. I don't know, it became hard to wash. Oh yeah, I think I know why. Because I put water within the other colors, or the other brushes mainly. Fuck. There was a hair on my finger. It was probably mine. Now, I don't know how to make skin color. But we will have to switch palettes because this is occupied and full. It's been drinking. And it's wet paint everywhere, so I will transfer most of what I'm capable of transferring. Maybe this green as well. Maybe. Maybe this blue. And this blue as well. Perfect. And the white. What did I miss? I heard the word Swedish balls on my way back out, so I was too afraid to look back. I found the cheese balls. So I also got to a conclusion on what I wanted to do for the rocks. So I switched the paper and now we're swapping here. But I am transferring these colors to here because I don't have any more like spots. So yeah. Yeah, that's essentially it. It was not there. It's just like wet paint and such, which is annoying. So I will try also to have a lighter brown, but now I need to take out more color. Perhaps some more red, because we're also trying to find a definite skin color, because this is too blue and too like red, you know, this isn't an actual skin color. So I will have some orange. Wait, so what are we doing now? Now we are doing the person. We did the waterfall, which is ish done. I have come to the conclusion that it's this sort of thingy, and we will have this sort of thing just around from down here after the moss, and then it will be something among these lines otherwise, and then like lights and highlights within the water, because then it can be calm enough to be that this is visible, you know. So I don't have to like make waves on the rocks, because I got tired of trying. And so we are trying to make hair right now. I don't know what color of hair. I think it's sort of dark, but then I figured out that the hair, it should look wet, you know. she's like taking a steam bath, whatever. So therefore, looks great. Good job. Thank you. I am proud because I don't remember if you listen to it, but I were where I was saying that I haven't made such swatches and swap thingies. Oh, I have only done it for a school project, which was like, oh, this thing you have to you can't not, right? So I am sort of coming to terms with that. It is a good process to go through because personally I have an archive of my streams that I've had, and they all confirm for me that I am capable of doing things from like my own imagination, but it is so much easier if you have a plan. Now, I need these two here. Are you from Österhamn area, by the way? Your Norwegian are more easily to understand than my family from Trøndelag. Yes, I am I'm from the cool part of Norway. The best part. Definitely. It is more according to bokmål, and Trøndelag is more heavy fucking dialect and such, so it isn't as cool, you know. It isn't as easy to understand as mine dialect is. And I'm not as good at it now than I was before, but I was kind of proud of not Bergen. That's a big fat L. You said the cool part. Bergen is not the cool part of Norway. Oslo is not included in the cool part of Norway. If you go just beyond Oslo, and then usually a bit up, and then around, and then you cut off about Oslo, that's the cool part of Norway. And that's it's the better parts. And when you come down, it just gets stupid. And when you go down into the side, it just gets like dumb and a bit more like fancy. I don't know geography, and I don't know most names of the things. But and then everything up that is not mountains is unable to be understood. You cannot understand what they are saying. It's impossible. Now, I am making some hair swatches. That's fun. I think if I have like a weird mix of all the nice and lovely brown colors I have had, I will have a better one. Yeah, that is rich. That is a nice color. Now, I think the highlights is going to kill me. Now, I should probably make room for all the other things that I need to like be able to know how to do. Christian Kristiansson. No wait, it's called Kristiansson. You said it right the first time. I am confused. Visible confusion. Hum noises. Now, you know, skin colors. I'm using myself as a reference because it's the only thing I have. I'm gonna have some red in the ish brown. It's in the diarrhea brown, so it's like objectively more red. And then I will have some white in there. Perhaps a bit more. I think that looks nude. But maybe because skin colors also has like just a bit green and like then I need more red. And then I need more of this. Or more of that. I don't know necessarily, but perhaps it is better to shade with because you don't really shade with black. Yeah, that's not how it works. So to have a greener part of where it is more like more where it's more dark, you know. Unless this is a nice color as well. No, it's not. It looks I think I need some sort of middle part. Fuck. So a bit more red. Perhaps. And then some yellow. I think yellow would do it some good. And then some more white. Potentially. This is hard. Fuck. Maybe I should have primary red. Stabbestad, Sarpsborg. These names can't be real Norwegian cities. Kristiansand is real. Stabbestad, I don't know. Sarpsborg, Sarpsborg is a real thing. And yeah, they're real. Just wait till you find Harstad. I mean, there's always dumb names. But I think the primary red did me good. Now, personally, I have a lot more red in my skin. But I don't know. I don't know. This is hard, but I think I should have some with some blue to have like a shadow. But I think it's a bit off. Fuck. So I will try again. Needs more red still. Yeah, definitely. But I don't wanna like overdo it because I think the like shade of it's too green. I think I didn't contain myself when I put in green. But so yellow is a color that we need. right, and then some primary red, and then some tiny bit of light green, and then we mix this together and we get a weird type of orange. And then we just see how that looks. That's a weird type of orange, so we need some green to like neutralize it, or some sophisticated words, you know. And then it is more green, definitely, so maybe a bit more red, and then we'll have some more white in it. Yeah. That's, it's a bit greenish, but it's a bit closer. It looks like a foundation color, honestly, but I think it's a bit too yellow. At least if I'm using myself as a reference, I am fucking red. I mean, yeah, I think that's better. Perfect. Maybe just a tad bit lighter. Yeah, I think I like that one. I just need to have it lighter. Not bad. Wow, thank you. Yeah, this one. Perfect. I love it. That took unnecessary amounts of brain cells. Now. So then I know it's only primary red and a bit green and a bit yellow and a bunch of white to make the better color for skin. Now we will go to the, I found like skin color and like ish variants of like shading, so we will have to try to make hair look wet, not only, and make hair look pretty. Now I will try to do this because it needs to like be like contempt within the like skull or whatever, and it needs like different shades as well. And it needs to make sense, not only, and it needs like some darker points and then some lighter points as well. Fuck. That's not bad. And then maybe perhaps some that look really red could also be a potential thing. And then we have brownish as a thing to mix that with, because I want it to look wet, like it's glued to her skull for some reason, because that's hair wet, it's kind of into your skull. Would you be interested in hearing the story behind my Tag Huddle Puddle 3 it is quite amazing. Oh, if you can live up to the hype that you've just made, I would be very glad to hear it. While I try to make different colors of brown, or like different shades and such, because that would be a fun thing to say. Because I think like when the hair is wet. Okay, here it comes. Fantastic. It's also like darker. I forgot to the login to Huddle Puddle and Huddle Puddle 1 and Huddle Puddle 2. But don't you have like the email account that you've registered it with? Can't you just, don't you have your phone connected to it? Can't you just like write a text message, forgot logging? Or did you like use up all your tries? Because that's also funny. No, I want to have one that's kind of blue as well, because that would be fun. I used throwaway emails. I hate giving my actual data when online. That is understandable. I won't judge you for that. I have a lot of emails, but I don't have like actual throwaways. I mean, I think I have one, but I forget my passwords. So if you have like, I have one that is like personal for like for like real business and shit, and I have another one that if I have to like use for something particularly for like the interwebs, I use that one because I don't log into that one and I've forgotten the password. Did you just swear on a Catholic stream? Who the fuck said this was Catholic? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we're not painting Jesus. I have swore this entire time. How is it Catholic? If I'm drinking? Hopefully that's a joke I just didn't catch. No. I'm like sorta nailing these hair types of thingies. Wait, it is not Jesus in the painting. No, it's a lady. It's a woman. Jesus is not a woman. He was a man with God. That's an alien. And you can't prove me wrong. Fantastic. Now, I need some like highlights that's like a bit brighter. Just like streaks of it. And then like a bit white in that as well, if that makes sense. That did not make sense. I needed to be wet. This one's wet, so I can use that one. Yeah, when the paint is like dry, I can have white to make like lighter points in the hair. I'm just messing with you though, hoping for hoping for some laughs. I I don't really get jokes. I mean, I don't know what level of sincerity it is. So if you can be completely serious with anything, and perhaps I will think it's a joke. It's hard telling intentions of people you don't know and you haven't physically communicated with. But if you write and you understand that I will take most of what you say with most definite 100% sincerity and such, maybe I will hear something so stupid that it's like, fuck, that's hilarious, you know? Now, how I told you, I don't know how to make hair. I don't know. Maybe like a couple of light, like really light streaks, like especially here where the egg sun is, and maybe have just a couple of really tiny streaks. You can trust me, not like I'm a straight. It's not like I'm a stranger on the internet. No. I mean, you're not. We've known each other 2 days. What do you mean? So, therefore, I, think it's okay. Just remember, I will most likely not understand jokes, and I will, hear anything and take anything literally. Yes. Now, personally, I don't like any of these brown colors. Personally, I don't think they look wet. I think they look weird. If anything, I like this one best because reasons. It's better than these. This is too yellow. This is too black and red. This is just too red. This is sort of there, and I ruined this one with the white streaks. So this one's the contender because I got the white streak really subtle. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about when we have shared laughs, tears, cats. What more do you want from a fully functioning relationships? I don't think there's anything that is necessary other than that. Completely agreeing. That's amazing, I think. How much is the clock? Okay. I don't think I have time for, like, trying to make actual hands. And I am starting to feel giving up. So, therefore, I thought we could make the sun, because the sun is an egg plum, if you didn't know, and I need to have like a nice shape of the egg, you know. That's necessary. So it will be the last thing on this stream. Now, perfect. I am a genius. I mean, there's still the dog thing though. The one we apparently are not ready for. But she's huge. I can't like lift her up and show you. I would have to move my camera and then you'd see the shithole that I live in, and like it's not ideal. So but if you're on the web browser, you can go. I think I think I have like I think I have pictures of my dog on my Instagram account that I have linked. Potentially. I think. Honestly, I am a bit confused. And honestly, making an egg is harder than I thought. Or like a half spoiled egg. Maybe. Okay, maybe. What if you like it has edges? Like a real egg, you know? Just in white. I'm using yellow so I can actually see it, but I can brighten it up. So it looks like an egg, but it's like the sun, because the sky behind is really wavy. So I feel like the sun also needs to have the same wavy vibe, you know? Because that makes sense. So house, stream, dog, cam, give me the good stuff. Also, eggs are not circular. That's how so how is that equal to the sun, you know? A half, like, I have now the egg is a cracked egg on a pan, and it's so the logic makes sense, you know? And it's kind of yellow, so not only I can see it, but you can just about see it. Fantastic. Now, let's have a nice and orange plum, because yeah, let's have it here. Because could you do me a favor and include the gravitational lensing that the light experience between the... I don't know what that means. But anyway, we can make gold. We can use gold paint. Where's this? I need this. This one's dry because I need to see how like covering it is. Not a devoted follower of Einstein's theory of reality, I see. No, unfortunately, no. I am disappointed in this gold. This is... it's just glitter, and it's so shallow. It's not... fuck. Maybe if I put in some white in it, potentially it will like show off more. But then it just kind of looks nude. At least it looks a bit more goldish. No, in all honesty, it just looks nude. What if I mix it in with some black? Because, like, I want to, like, really, really goldish. Yeah, that's just black. Fuck. Well, I am a man of science, and if we don't include the gravitational lensing in your paintings, then why are we even painting? I can't. I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm confused. And I'm also very disappointed in the gold color that I bought, because it doesn't look like gold. I don't know how many layers of it I would have to paint to, like, get it to actually look gold. So I will switch pencil and I will take this one. And I will. This is mixed in with the blue. It looks dumb. I think that the sun in this painting are as realistic as the earth is, you know. I think I need a very thick layer of it to look gold. But then again, it doesn't look gold. I am grumpy and sad. I thought that might make you chuckle. The confusion about the gravitational lensing effect seems to outweigh the absurdity of mentioning it. Yeah, if it's confusing, it's not necessarily funny. I would have to, like, if you think of the sun as the point of something, like a theme, like whatever the fuck you're talking about, and then the earth as, like, common sense as to the specific subject. So if I know of the subject and you're, like, on Pluto making, like, obscure references and jokes relating to, like, the sun, the subject, that shit's hilarious. Like, a friend of mine insulted me by calling me a dry bread, which is hilarious because it's like, it's an insult, but it's so far away from, like, insult that it is hilarious. Mark my words. Now, perhaps if I mix in some yellow into the gold, that's way too much yellow, I could potentially make it better. Because right now, I'm kind of stunned. Oh no, it's just green. Because the thingy wasn't dry. Okay. Fantastic. So, I need to pour some gold on this one, which is a health risk because it was very watery. So, and then a tad bit of yellow. Mixing. Because yellow is like the closest. I think I'm a genius. So far, so fucking perfect. I mean, no, it's just yellow. Because like I want like a thin track of like pure, like constant gold. But like, what if we have like a really thick line? And like have the do multiple layers. Fuck. I am kind of sad. How is Einstein theory of relatively an obscure reference? No, it wasn't obscure enough, and I don't know anything about Einstein, so it was something I couldn't know what possibly you were talking about. And calling someone a stale and piece of bread is far more potent insult if you ask me. I mean, it's more original. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know what more potent insult means. And I think mixing yellow with the gold is the way to go. But I think I will have to do the gold last and tape around so I can have like the thin line and like a lot of layers and make it like look actually nice. But what's the clock? Yeah, it is time to say good night. Sleep tight. I will do this again tomorrow because I don't have anything better to do. And so, therefore, I will see you tomorrow. It was nice talking to you, Huddle Puddle, if you still exist. Have a good one. Yes, you do still exist. And then tomorrow we will try to make arms, face, and then potentially more of the background. And if we don't get to more of the background, we will do another stream for that. And then after that, making background perfect, and then we will tape this thing up to the board, and then we will make art. Thank you for the talks. You're welcome. The pleasure was on my side, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you tomorrow, and you'll get to see me, because I'm amazing. So have a good one. Goodbye.